everyone. Ready for a deep dive that might just change how you think about money?
I think so.
We're tackling Your Money or Your Life by Joe Dominguez and Vicki Robin.
Yeah, this one's a classic.
More than just personal finance, though, right?
Absolutely. It's about living intentionally and reaching, financial independence.
That idea always gets me.
For sure. Who wouldn't want work to be, optional someday?
Exactly. We'll be breaking down how to align spending with values
And that whole concept of the crossover point.
yes,
Right.
where your passive income covers expenses. That's the dream.
Total freedom, right?
Okay, so getting into it, this book has a pretty unique foundation.
Yeah, it's all about viewing money as, life energy. Every dollar you earn is actually hours of your life you traded to get it.
Whoa. Have you ever stopped to think about it that way? It really makes you reevaluate, doesn't it?
For sure. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
It makes you think twice before those impulse purchases.
Totally. Is this thing really worth the hours I worked to buy it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's less about, can I afford it? And more like, is this worth X hours of my life?
Powerful stuff. So it's not about just being cheap. It's about...
Conscious choices. Making sure your spending reflects what you truly value.
I love that. The book gives a practical exercise to help with this too, right?
Yep, calculating your real hourly wage.
Oh, this is where things get real. It's not just your salary on paper, is it?
Nope, not even close.
Yeah.
You got to factor in everything. Commuting, work clothes, that coffee you need to function, even childcare if that applies to you.
The hidden costs add up.
Big time. The book gives this example. Someone making $20 an hour
Yeah, I remember that one.
ends up their real hourly wage is closer to $10.
Makes you think twice about those small expenses, huh? Definitely a wake-up call. So once we've had this realization, what's next? How do we start making changes?
Well, that's where their 9-step program comes in.
9 steps. Sounds a little daunting at first.
It's actually pretty straightforward, really. Each step builds on the last one.
Okay, that makes sense. Which step do you think has the biggest impact?
Tough one. But aligning spending with values is huge.
Yeah.
Instead of just buying whatever's trendy,
You're actually asking yourself.
does this purchase reflect what I care about?
Totally. It's easy to get caught up in that consumerist mindset. I used to spend way too much on clothes just because they were on sale.
Oh, I feel that. The book really pushes back against that whole gotta have it all mentality.
It's not about deprivation. It's more like,
Making sure your money, your time, is actually supporting the life you want, not some ideal someone else is selling you.
intentionality. That's the key word. Making choices that actually contribute to your well-being and,
Long-term happiness, not just fleeting gratification.
exactly. This ties in closely with another key step, doesn't it? Tracking every penny. I used to think that was so tedious, but
Yep.
I started using a budgeting app. Game changer.
Really? What changed your mind about it?
The awareness. I was spending way more on takeout coffee than I thought. A truly shocking amount. And for what? So I started making coffee at home more often.
Small change, big difference.
Exactly. It's empowering to feel in control of your money.
Totally. And these days, the technology makes it so much easier.
Oh, for sure. Tons of apps that do the heavy lifting for you. Categorize expenses, set limits, give you a visual representation of where your money is going.
You don't have to do it all manually anymore.
So we've talked about aligning spending, tracking expenses, and then the book takes it a step further, right? It encourages you to actually visualize your ideal financial future.
Oh, yeah, the crossover point. Things are
Yeah.
about to get exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crossover point. That's where it all comes together.
It's the ultimate goal, right? When your passive income completely covers your expenses, work becomes optional.
Exactly. That's financial freedom, baby.
Okay, so let's break it down. What exactly is passive income?
It's money you earn without, actively trading your time for it.
Okay, so not your typical 9-to-5 job.
Right. It's about creating income streams that work for you, even when you're not working.
Sounds pretty amazing, but how does that actually work in real life? What are some examples our listeners could try?
Well, one popular one is renting out a spare room or even a whole property on Airbnb.
Oh, yeah, especially with the rise of the sharing economy. That makes a lot of sense.
It's a great way to leverage an asset you already have.
Totally. What else?
Creating and selling digital products online is another big one.
Like what?
Oh, all sorts of things. Ebooks, online courses, stock photos, music, you name it.
The possibilities are endless.
Right. And the great thing about digital products is you create them once and they can generate income for years to come.
So you're not constantly trading your time for money.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Okay, what else? Oh, investing. That's a classic way to build passive income.
That's a big one. What kind of investments are we talking about?
Well, you could invest in dividend-paying stocks, real estate investment trusts, those are called REITs, or even peer-to-peer lending platforms.
I've been hearing a lot about index funds and ETFs lately. Do those count as passive income too?
Hmm. They don't generate like traditional income, like dividends or rent, but they can be a powerful tool for building wealth over time.
Ah, through compound growth, right?
Exactly. So in a way, yeah, they contribute to a more passive approach to growing your finances.
It's all about making your money work for you, not the other way around.
That's the goal. And the beauty of passive income is that it can be scaled up over time.
So you could start small and gradually build up your income streams.
Exactly. Eventually, you can reduce your reliance on that active income from your job, maybe even replace it entirely.
And that's how you hit that crossover point, right? Financial freedom.
Bingo. You're no longer trading your precious time just to make ends meet. You have the freedom to choose how you spend your days.
That's the dream. But honestly, it can feel a little overwhelming, you know? Where do you even begin with all these options?
Totally get that. Don't get bogged down by the sheer number of possibilities.
So take it one step at a time.
Yeah. The book emphasizes starting small. First, figure out your strengths, your interests, what resources you have.
So, like, if you're a great photographer, maybe you start selling your photos online or teaching photography workshops.
Exactly. When you're doing something you enjoy, it doesn't feel like work.
Makes the journey a lot more fun, too.
Definitely. And it ties back to that idea of aligning your spending with your values. Your money, or your life, really encourages you to create a life where your finances and your passions are working together.
So it's not just about the money, it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. Remember, financial independence isn't just about accumulating wealth.
It's about what that wealth allows you to do.
Exactly. It's about freedom and purpose. And that brings us to another important concept from the book, having enough.
Enough. It's such a simple word, but it has so much weight, you know?
It really does. The book challenges us to redefine what enough means for us personally, not what society tells us it should be.
It's about finding contentment with what you have rather than always wanting more.
It's a shift in mindset from getting to being.
And when you can do that, you open yourself up to so much more.
Deeper connections, more meaningful experiences.
It's about quality of life, not just quantity of possessions.
Exactly. This is where minimalism and mindful spending come in.
Yeah, it's not just about decluttering your home, it's about decluttering your mind.
Freeing yourself from that constant pressure to consume.
The book really was ahead of its time with this stuff.
Right. It encourages us to be more intentional with our choices.
I know I've fallen into that trap before, thinking that buying something new would finally make me happy.
We've all been there.
The book helps you break free from that cycle.
And realize that true happiness comes from within, not from things.
It's about cultivating gratitude for what you already have, finding joy in the simple things.
Especially in today's world, where we're constantly bombarded with advertising and messages to B-U-Y, B-U-Y, B-U-Y.
It's a powerful message. There's this one part in the book I always think about. The authors ask, what's one expense you could cut that wouldn't impact your happiness? Think about it.
Ooh, good one. Makes you really stop and think.
It did for me. What about you? Have you ever cut an expense that you thought you'd miss, but surprisingly, you didn't?
You know, I used to have cable TV. Spent hours watching shows I didn't even really enjoy. So I cut the cord.
How'd that go?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I had so much more free time to read, spend time outdoors, connect with friends.
You didn't miss it.
Nope, not one bit. I actually felt more fulfilled and energized, sometimes less. Really, more.
Perfect example. It shows that cutting back doesn't have to mean depriving yourself. It can actually improve your life.
Absolutely. Your money or your life is all about that.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Redefining our relationship with money, exploring passive income, mindful spending. But the book doesn't stop there, does it? It goes even deeper, talking about financial integrity.
It's a big part of the book's philosophy.
It sounds like it's about being honest with yourself about your finances, making choices that align with your goals.
Yeah, it's like walking the talk when it comes to your money. Being responsible, making conscious choices.
Like living authentically, but in a financial sense.
Exactly. It's about that inner alignment between your actions and your values when it comes to money.
So it's not just about how much money you have, but how you handle it.
Right. It's about creating that sense of inner peace and congruence between your financial decisions and, well, your whole life philosophy.
And that applies regardless of your income level, right?
Absolutely. Financial integrity is about finding what feels right for you, not comparing yourself to others.
It's about defining success on your own terms.
That's the key. It's about creating a life that feels good from the inside out. And that feeling, priceless.
Love it. It's about finding that sweet spot where your finances support your values and your vision for the future.
Exactly. Money should be a tool that empowers you, not a source of stress or anxiety.
So, to bring it all together, what would you say is the biggest takeaway from your money or your life? What's that one nugget of wisdom that our listener can walk away with and start applying to their life today?
You know, it's funny because the book's title kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Your money or your life? Yeah, there's a real depth to that.
It's not about being rich. It's about having enough to be free.
Free to do what matters most. Free to, make choices aligned with your values, pursue those passions, spend time in ways that bring joy.
Exactly. That's what true wealth really looks like.
It's inspiring because it shows financial freedom isn't this exclusive club for the super wealthy. It's achievable for anyone who's willing to.
Put in the work. Make those conscious changes.
It's not about winning the lottery or a sudden inheritance.
It's about small, consistent choices. They add up over time.
Even just one or two things from this deep dive, if someone puts them into practice.
It can make a real difference, yeah.
Patience is key, though, right? This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme.
Not at all. It's a journey.
And I think that's what I appreciate most about this book. It reminds us that money is a tool to create the life we want.
Not the goal in itself, yeah.
Such an important distinction.
It takes the pressure off, honestly.
Mhm.
Lets you use your resources in a way that feels truly meaningful.
This deep dive has given me so much to think about. It really reinforces that we have the power to create a life of abundance and,
Fulfillment.
exactly, on our own terms, too.
Exactly. Anyone listening, I highly recommend checking out the book itself.
Oh, yeah, there's so much wisdom packed in those pages.
It's a book that can really change your whole perspective, empower you to take control of your finances and your future.
If you're feeling inspired and ready to take action, we've got tons of resources on our website, too.
Links to budgeting apps, articles on passive income, tips for mindful spending.
Head over to website address and check it out.
And hey, keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts and takeaways from this episode with us on social media. We love hearing from you.
We're all on this journey together, right? Wherever you are on your path to financial freedom.
Remember, you have the power to create a life of abundance and meaning.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Go make it happen, everyone.
Yeah.
And until next time, keep diving deep,